Rising yet again of a
Let's
draft
go.
sequence.
Game
Welcome to the
pertama.
caster's desk once again.
Team Liquid
This
Philippines
is
versus Twice
the
That Minds.
only remaining representative
Yep.
of the Philippines, and they're going up against Twisted Minds, who earlier
Iya talaga
performed
bro.
out of their minds.
And also the only representative from the MENA region. So, you could feel the intensity and the gravity of this match. Again, another elimination match for our knockout stage. And the only discovery that I see since we started the knockout stage is that the draft can get really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of Angelas. We have the Angela match one of the knockout stage. And I think for Twisted Minds, they have a piece of that crazy draft with the Masha. So I kind of feel like this is gonna be a twisted fate for both.
It can be. I mean, how often do you see this matchup? The Ruby versus
yeah, even
the
the Ruby.
Masha. Even the Ruby itself, it's a huge surprise for us already. And if we were to look at the emblem builds of these two heroes we are talking about, it doesn't seem like it is gonna be the fighter combo for the Ruby. But wait, Livin might just not survive this attempt from Team Liquid, successfully securing the first blood for their side. Ramichi with that retribution used, gets to escape as well. The potential counter coming in from Twisted Minds.
And now to reiterate on your point that this is gonna be like a really front runner type of a Ruby, like a really fighter one. It's because of the Inspire spell also, or Inspire emblem rather. So that's a 5% cooldown reduction plus the mana regen. Although nothing much on the mana regen, but the cooldown reduction could help a lot up against a Masha just to stop the aggression. So far, we see for Team Liquid that they know how to disengage.
Like at this point, they're all just
Lanjut lagi bro ya.
so focused on the game itself. And speaking of, we immediately will be jumping back into the game. Still 2 minutes in. And again, Team Liquid was the one who got the first blood just a few moments ago. But this might be the response from Twisted Minds. Kla is going to be the target. And even the Heart Guard won't be enough to keep her alive. Hyde and Luna are working on Zaishi. She has to keep herself safe. That was a very precise target for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is actually a Team Liquid winning that trade because of that objective secure on the turtle, but for Twisted Minds, it's a win for them because it is actually Kla that they stopped, and we know that Kla has been making a nice debut in MWI, but things are a bit slow for both teams. We're currently at almost 3 minutes, and the competition at the bottom lane is gonna be a really long one. And Daiki is doing a great job, by the way, on keeping this Masha at bay, because we normally see Masha at early levels, just roaming around and stopping some of the players. So yup, pretty much that's it for the early game. But for the side of TLPH, they will try to go and take Lunar at top lane.
And they successfully will, because that's 3 members trying to take her down. They have to dodge that star shot. Okay, so Kla was the one, interestingly, who blocked that. But look at Daiki. Literally, this is what you mentioned. She's just holding Lyrics down, but she has to take note. Hyde is there. Beautiful flicker to keep herself alive.
Yeah, she knows that Hyde is gonna be there at the bottom lane. So far for Team Liquid, they are on the lead, almost 1,000 against Twisted Minds. And I gotta say, Heidi's been playing really well in this game. All those heavy spins, it just so happened that during that time, Daiki was aware of the imminent threat from the Akai. So it feels like for Team Liquid, it's just them slowly trying to build up that lead against Twisted Minds. If Twisted Minds is able to secure this turtle, then most probably they would also win the team fight, because now Lyrics has the Blade of Heptasis.
Yeah, and I'm really liking how decisive Team Liquid is so far in terms of wherever they decide to rotate. There was an immediate response, and they really wanted to help Kla earlier. But speaking of Zaishi, was forced to flicker out. Kla, though, surprising Lunar and Miss Meow in the mid lane. But here, along the turtle pit, it seems like there's a completely different fight taking place. Daiki somehow able to dash away, and look at that! I am offended catching 3 together with a fist break as well. Kla takes the kill onto Hyde, and alongside the hard guard, it seems like Livin will be able to survive as well. Two members deleted from Twisted Minds.
Great counter engage from Team Liquid, and I gotta say it was a nice escape from Daiki around the time. Even that ultimate also just to stop the players of Twisted Minds. Hence, Team Liquid securing yet another turtle against the Minds. And if we go to the instant replay, it was a nice setup play against 3 players. We see, yes, the initiation with the AOG. It just so happened that there was no other players left for Twisted Minds, and because of that, from 1K goal lead, we shift to higher lead for Team Liquid at 2.7K.
Imagine, you barely could walk around that wall that was already placed by Soju, which made things easier for Daiki to just capture the targets that they wanted from Twisted Minds. And I feel like even though Twisted Minds know that they definitely have to deal with Kla, which again is the reason behind that early rotation towards the gold lane earlier, Team Liquid, you can't stop them when they're all 5. When they're together, you see the entire idea of this lineup, which is to just protect Kla, literally overwhelm Twisted Minds with the amount of crowd control. Because how could you actually engage in a fight or dance around the team fights with a Badang and the Ruby?
Yeah, and aside from that, there's a layer of slow with the Angela and the Love Waves. And even that anti-heal on Ramiz's hero, but we see Livin on that AOG. But at the bottom lane, there's a play. Solo kill for Daiki, and there goes the team fight, continuing at the top lane.
Hyde might go for Soju, but Lunar, the bullets won't be connecting. Instead, it's going to be Livin immediately taken out. Heavy crossbow 2 coming in from Skla. And surprisingly, Zaichi gets the double kill, but they got the job done.
Yep, and Zaichi is out 2-0-3, and it's just his Team Liquid putting on a lot of pressure against Twisted Minds. I mean, 7-1 for this game. Another instant replay. We're in. This is after Livin went for the AOG, right? So we see Ramizi just zoning out the supposed player that will be on front for Twisted Minds. So because of that, there was a lot of space for Kla and even Soju to deal damage, and eventually having a double kill for Zaichi.
Team Liquid, they're playing the first few minutes of the game really, really well, leaving little to no room for Twisted Minds to actually answer back. And this is gonna be a little tricky for them. They're gonna be forced to use their resources defensively this time. Imagine not being able to commit the heavy spin for a target, but instead just to deny Team Liquid of what they want to do, because so far they're playing this very aggressively.
Yeah, true. I think for Twisted Minds now, the key players to potentially turn things around is going to be Miss Meow and even Lunar. So as long as there is the farm and even a slow from the Astral Echo, then they can and potentially have a comeback in terms of the lead. But we saw the items earlier. We see the difference for both, but 8 minutes and you have 6K gold lead, and even potentially taking down some of the players at the middle lane. It's definitely Team Liquid controlling this game.
It's only Hyde trying her best to defend. Heavy spin already committed, but Ramichi, they have to take note. There's the hard guard, so they might not go for the full commit. They could be sort of lacking in damage too, so I think it's great that Twisted Minds are just respecting Team Liquid for now.
Yeah, they really have to, as much as possible, slow in the pace of Team Liquid, but we can see a fist crack for the players of Team Liquid, and Ramichi securing that kill against Twisted Minds.
Oh, they do not want to fight, but Team Liquid, they're forcing the fights, even right under that turret where it was just Livin, who, by the way, is unfortunately on a 0-4 KDA. This is not looking too good for Regato Chacha. Even though you do commit the AOG, there's no guarantee that the follow-up will be enough. That was the big problem earlier, but now there's no guarantee that you can keep yourself alive long enough, and that is probably one of the most important things you have to do as the Gato Gacha in this lineup of Twisted Minds. But the pressure, it's just non-stop now for Team Liquid, and this is just the first Lord.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that is good on the side of Twisted Minds is that they are still able to go on for the split push. I mean, they have the Masha was actually at the bottom lane prior this initiation of Team Liquid at the Lord. Even went in for the Malefic Roar. So it feels like for Twisted Minds, they are changing things up. They don't want any team fight anymore, but just give space for the players like Lunar and even Lyrics. And we could see a team fight probably. We have the Hemisphere for Hyde. I'm not sure if Team Liquid will let them escape, but it's just the discipline that they will focus on. But we could see Daiki just forcing the players of Twisted Minds to push back.
She's so brave. And this is Team Liquid. Brave enough to risk taking on a fight even right after securing the objective for themselves. But speaking of, that Lord is going to be marching down bottom lane. And I feel like the way things unfolded, ouch, indeed, it does hurt, is also mostly because Daiki literally held down Lyrics in the lane.
Yeah.
Like, this could have been different if we saw the Masha in other places early on.
Yeah, that's true. Would agree. And also, if you, speaking about Daiki, she both has a defensive item, not the last item for magic defense, but covers both physical and magic defense. Hence, the reason as to why she is very brave in setting up plays.
Oh, they forced out the heavy spin already from Hyde. They can only do so much now. They're looking to take out the Holy Shields as well. And I feel like if you're Twisted Minds, you have to think twice whether or not you want to engage in this, because you're lacking a major resource. And speaking of, they might just go over it. Limit though, could this be the right call indeed? Because it seems like a go call for Lyrics, but instead it's a punish. They take out Livin and the heavy crossbow. The damage is too much.
By the way, it was a nice initiation by Livin. It just so happened that for Team Liquid, Soju was fast to react on the flicker, was able to survive the threat, and we could see right now that for the damage dealt ranking, it is actually Kla on top, despite that kill against her at the top lane, and Ramiti against two players. I'm not sure if she is still able to survive that, but she doesn't.
She probably should be expecting a little more damage now. I feel like all this time, Lyrics, whenever she got the chance, she still tries to go for the split pushes anyway. She still tries to manage the waves. And just now, she picks up the Sea Halberd. So I feel like they are a little more equipped if ever they find a target, which Team Liquid should not allow if they want to keep the lead.
Yeah, super good point, because you have the penetration, you even have the Blade of Heptases. I mean, if it is going to be Kla who is going to be the target for Lyrics, and then that's going to be the problem for Team Liquid. But because of the Angela, then we see a kill against Lyrics.
Good thing the Angela was there for Kla. If there was no Angela, that could have been different, because you're looking at a Masha also with the Malefic Roar. Those are 3 damage core items already in her build, but this just allows Team Liquid to freely take the Lord for themselves. But Twisted Minds, it seems like they still want to deal with the mid waves, but this is all that they can do for now.
Yeah, for now, that is something that they should really hold on to as much as possible. For Twisted Minds, they don't really want Team Liquid to capitalize on the Lord, which, by the way, will march in at the bottom lane. So given that Livin already has the immortality, as long as she is able to put up that AOG really nice in the middle of a Team Liquid's formation, plus the Unbreakable maybe, just to have that added layer of a crown control, then it would be nice for them. But you have tanky heroes right for the side of Twisted Minds, but in terms of damage that is sustained over time, it is Team Liquid winning that department.
They can, or the longer fights might just favor Team Liquid, especially if there's a lot of slight errors. If there are ultimates which are committed, which don't necessarily get what they're after, but now they get to slowly access the base. Is this gonna be a fight for both of the teams? It seems like they're not gonna decide to go for it just yet. Also, Kla just secures the purple buff, so they're probably really considering timing.
Yeah, more like more to the discipline and the respect the potential from Twisted Mind's hero. Again, because they're still waiting for the minion wave on other lanes. Speaking of minion wave, we have the AOG for Twisted Minds, but Kla and the rest of Team Liquid jumps in.
Oh, Kla just keeps looking for the targets. That was an error that could have been lethal for Team Liquid, but just because Sojo was still able to flicker out, it seemed like it remained a go signal that Team Liquid can still go for this. Kla jumped in with a heavy crossbow. She knew that they were already able to force out the resources from Twisted Minds, and even though the I Am Offended did not commit, they were still confident enough, but they have to be careful.
Yeah, definitely have to be careful because even Hyde already has the immortality. And if you look at the hero composition of Twisted Minds, it is meant to be on the late game. Because late game, almost down. But it is going to be a counter engage for Team Liquid. Lurks is down. Hyde's going to be the next target.
The fist crack denies Hyde of her route towards escaping that fight. And Team Liquid successfully take out two members from Twisted Minds, and they have a wave approaching mid. Daiki, she could potentially go for the setup later on. She has the I'm Offended still, but Kla, she's the one who starts things up. AOG lands on the two, but it seems like they do not mind. Lunar trying her best to defend, but look at the damage coming from Kla. But oh, the wind of nature! That nearly turned things around.
You know what? The players here are like really using their items and even their skills at the right timing. It started with that nice hard guard when Kla was almost dead or bursted down by Twisted Minds, and even the wing chant for Lunar. But because of that, Team Liquid has the space to actually secure the Lord, but Soju's immortality has been topped off.
Once again, Daiki to the rescue, always keeping her teammates safe. Look at Kla, just looking for the target. Even gets to dodge that heavy spin from Hyde. Instead, is chasing after everyone. Even the AOG gets dodged away, and now Livin is the third to fall.
We can see the timers now for 3 players of Twisted Minds. You have 30 seconds for Elix and the rest. You have the Lord for Team Liquid at the top lane. Kla is currently at 419. Hyde and Miss Meow. Could they defend their base? A lot of damage to it from Kla.
How could you if you get bursted down even in your very own base? And with that, Team Liquid, they put an end to this game.
GG guys.
Oh wow, Team Liquid taking back their control after that
Let's go. Kita
potential
lanjut ke
comeback
game selanjutnya guys ya.
from Twisted